What if the life you want is not as far away as it feels? What if the problem is not you, but the system that taught you to measure success in hours and exhaustion? Imagine a week where you feel present, focused, and actually excited to wake up. A week where work fits into your life, not the other way around. The 4-hour work week is not fantasy, it is a different way of thinking. And today, we're going to explore how it can change your time, your confidence, and even the way you learn English. Stay with me because by the end of this episode, you might walk away with one idea that makes everything feel possible again. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Learn English, Grow Yourself. I'm Mel, and today I'm sitting in our little studio with a cup of tea, a notebook full of ideas, and my co-host, Matt, who looks like he slept 3 hours but still decided to show up. That is dedication, or caffeine, or both.
It is mostly caffeine. If this episode suddenly stops, it means the coffee wore off and I fell asleep on the microphone.
If that happens, please snore quietly. Remember, today's book is The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss.
Which, by the way, is the exact opposite of my life. If I tried to live a 4-hour work week right now, everything around me would catch fire.
Yes, but maybe it is not about literally working 4 hours per week. Maybe it is about building a life that does not depend on working all the time.
I like that. So it is not a number, it is a direction.
Exactly. So before we go deeper, here's our starter question for today. If you woke up tomorrow and you only had to work 4 hours this week, what would you do with all the extra time? Travel? Study? Learn a language? Start a project? Sleep?
Sleep. Definitely sleep. Then travel, then sleep again.
Listeners, think about your answer. Keep it in your mind because this episode is going to challenge it in the best way. So, Matt, have you ever felt like you are working a lot but not actually moving forward?
Absolutely. Sometimes my week feels like running on a treadmill. I move, I sweat, I try my best, and then at the end I look around and I'm still exactly where I started.
That is such a powerful image, and that's where Ferriss begins. He asks, what if productivity is not about movement, but about direction?
And what if being busy is just a socially acceptable way of avoiding the things we are afraid to do?
You are starting very strong today. The coffee is doing miracles.
Thank you. I feel like a philosopher with shaky hands.
Let's get into the heart of the book. Ferriss explains that the traditional path of success is broken. The world used to say, study hard, get a job, work for 40 years, retire, and finally enjoy life. But that model doesn't work for everyone anymore.
Yes, because the world changed, technology changed, opportunities changed, but our mindset did not.
He introduces the idea of lifestyle design. Instead of designing your life around your job, you design your job around your life.
Which is a completely different direction. It's like someone moved the center of the map.
For language learners, imagine this. Instead of studying English because your job requires it someday, you study English because you want to live 3 months a year in Portugal, or because you want to open a small online business for international customers.
Suddenly, English is not homework, it's a passport.
The trap of the 9 to 5. Another big idea, the 9 to 5 schedule, is an illusion. It is not natural, it is industrial. It was created for factories, not for brains, not for creativity.
And not for introverts, not for parents, not for people who work better at night, not for people who have different rhythms.
Exactly, but we feel guilty if we don't work inside that system. Ferriss says guilt is not a rule. Guilt is a feeling. You can change your structure without feeling guilty.
He also talks about mini retirements. Instead of waiting to enjoy life when you're 65, take breaks throughout your life.
For example, 3 months off every 5 years, or 1 month off every year, or every Friday free.
That last one sounds like heaven.
Before we continue, can I ask you something, dear listeners?
She's doing the teacher voice. Pay attention.
If you continue living like this, doing what you do now, where will you be in 5 years? And do you like that answer?
If the answer scares you, that might be a sign. Not a negative sign, a useful sign.
Yes, a direction sign. Key concept, the new rich. Ferriss describes a group of people he calls the new rich. Not rich in money necessarily, but rich in time, rich in freedom, rich in choices.
I love that. They value time more than status.
They do not want to look successful. They want to feel successful.
That hits hard, because sometimes we collect symbols of success instead of experiences.
The new rich ask, how can I work less but better? How can I earn enough, not maximum? How can I reduce, simplify, focus?
It's like a diet for your life. Less junk, more nutrients.
Perfect metaphor. Language learning application. Let's connect this to English. If you study for 3 hours a day but you're distracted, stressed, and tired, your brain doesn't learn.
But if you study for 30 minutes with deep focus, clear goals, and a calm nervous system, you learn faster.
That is a 4-hour work week for language learning. Less time, more progress.
So please stop feeling guilty if you can't study 2 hours a day. Focus on the quality of attention, not the quantity of minutes.
By the way, if you are enjoying this conversation so far, take a moment to follow or subscribe to this podcast.
And share it with a friend who loves books or dreams about changing their life, or with someone who's always stressed and needs a gentle nudge.
You can say, hey, I heard something today that reminded me of you.
And if they say, is it because I'm always stressed? You can say, yes, but with love.
The 80-20 rule, one of my favorite parts of the book.
The idea that 20% of what you do produces 80% of your results.
So find that 20% and do more of it, then eliminate the other 80%.
This is frightening because the 80% often feels comfortable. It keeps us busy enough to avoid change.
That is so true. Busy is a disguise. Busy feels noble, but busy is not always useful.
Somewhere, someone just paused the podcast and looked at their calendar like, oh.
And if that is you, it is A-OK. This episode is here for a reason.
Mel, can we talk about something practical? Because I love philosophy, but my rent does not accept philosophy as payment.
Yes, let's talk about real-life application. Imagine this. You work in an office and you want more time. You cannot just walk in tomorrow and say, hello, everyone, I now work 4 hours a week. Please do not. They will remove your ID card.
And probably your chair.
But you can start small. Ferriss suggests negotiating remote days, 1 day per month, then 1 per week. Or you can experiment with flexible hours.
It's like dipping your toes in the water instead of jumping into the ocean with all your clothes on.
Exactly. Step by step. And here's a real example. One of my friends was a graphic designer. She started automating repetitive tasks with templates, keyboard shortcuts, and pre-made design elements. This saved her 2 hours every day.
That is 10 hours per week. That's a part-time job made of time.
Yes, she used that time to build a portfolio for freelance clients. After 6 months, she reduced her full-time job to part-time. After a year, she had a sustainable business that allowed her to travel.
So she did not quit, she evolved.
That is a perfect summary. You do not have to quit your job. You can evolve your job.
Now, the part that scares everyone, delegation. I tried to delegate once. I asked someone to book my flight. They sent me to Brussels. I wanted Barcelona.
A geographic misunderstanding.
It was my fault. I mumbled. Never mumble when buying airplane tickets.
But the principle is good. Delegation removes tasks that drain your energy. Consistency is more important than perfection.
So what kind of tasks can normal humans delegate?
Examples: customer support emails a virtual assistant can answer, social media scheduling, research tasks, calendar management, subtitles or transcription, basic accounting.
I love this because you're not saying hire 10 employees. You're saying buy back micro pieces of your life, like buying time in small slices.
Yes, and here's a fun language learning example. Instead of creating your own vocabulary lists every day, ask a ChatGPT or a teacher to prepare weekly lists for you based on your goals.
Delegating the preparation, not the learning.
Exactly. Learning is your art. Preparation is a system.
Example, digital nomad life, but realistic.
I know what people are thinking right now. They're imagining the typical Instagram picture. Person on the beach, laptop open, sun in their eyes, coconut in one hand.
Yes, and then the laptop overheats and dies.
And the coconut falls on the keyboard.
Real digital nomad life is not just beaches. It's choosing where you live based on values, not rules.
Exactly. Maybe you want to live 6 months near your family and 6 months in a city that inspires you. Maybe you want to work from a quiet village. Maybe you want a big city with museums.
Exactly. The destination doesn't make you free, the structure does.
I want to give listeners a challenge right now. Think of one thing in your weekly routine that feels heavy or wasted. 1 hour that disappears.
Laundry. Laundry is my enemy.
Perfect example. Could you batch it? Delegate it? Pay someone to do it once a week?
Suddenly I feel rich. Emotionally, not financially.
For our listeners, replace laundry with something else. Grocery shopping, translation tasks, email sorting, scheduling lessons. If someone or something can do it at 70% quality, delegate, because the 30% perfection you lose gives you 100% time back.
That sentence needs to be on a mug.
Of course, there's fear. Fear of losing control, fear of failing, fear of judgment.
Fear of Brussels instead of Barcelona?
Yes, fear of mistakes. But the book explains something essential. Perfectionism is a cage with comfortable pillows.
It feels safe, but you're still inside.
For language learners, waiting for perfect grammar before speaking is like waiting for perfect weather before traveling the world. You'll wait forever.
And when the weather is perfect, you'll be afraid of the price of plane tickets.
So the solution is not to fight fear. It's to accept movement with fear.
Action is the antidote to fear.
Micro experiments. Practical, real, achievable. Tim Ferriss calls them experiments, small tests, not commitments.
So you're not changing your life, you're testing a hypothesis.
Exactly. Examples: work remotely 1 day per month. Try scheduling phone-free hours. Join a co-working space one afternoon. Study English 20 minutes a day instead of waiting for 2-hour blocks.
Send one message to a native speaker instead of planning a conversation.
The key word here is test, not decide forever. Yes, you can change the test if you hate it.
We forget that life can be a draft, not a final version.
Yes, one of the most powerful sections of the book is about saying no. Ferriss calls attention to how many people work 10 extra hours a week because they can't say no.
So your calendar is full because your mouth cannot say a 2-letter word.
Yes, here's a sentence that listeners can practice in English. I appreciate the invitation, but I cannot commit at this time.
Or this one. Thank you for thinking of me, but that does not align with my current priorities.
Both polite, clear, boundaried.
And my personal favorite, no thank you, I'm allergic to that meeting.
Please do not say that in real life, or do if you want to start a revolution.
Vocabulary recap.
Before we close, let's review some vocabulary we used today.
Vocabulary time. Quietly iconic.
Lifestyle design. Creating a life that matches your values, not just your job.
Example. I'm using lifestyle design to organize my year with more travel.
The new rich. People who value time and freedom more than status.
Example. Becoming new rich means choosing experiences over objects.
Delegate. Give a task to someone else so you can focus on what matters.
Example. I delegate cleaning so I can study English on Saturday mornings.
Mini retirement. Taking breaks during life, not only at 65.
Example. My 3 weeks in Thailand were a mini retirement.
The 80-20 rule. 20% creates 80% of results.
Example. 20% of my vocabulary gives me 80% of daily English.
Listening challenge. Repeat after me. My time is valuable and I can design my life step by step.
Speaking challenge. Record a 1-minute audio answering what is one part of your life you want to redesign.
Reflection prompt. Choose one small experiment to run this week. A new study schedule, fewer notifications, or saying no once. Down in the comments, tell us, what is 1 hour of your week you want to reclaim?
We would love to hear your ideas. Maybe someone else needs to see your comment to feel brave.
And don't forget, the free downloadable PDF has today's transcript, the book summary, and the learning recap for vocabulary, phrases, grammar, pronunciation, and practice.
Also, maybe a picture of me sleeping on my keyboard. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. And thank you for questioning the rules of your life.
2 voices, 1 goal. Better English, better you. Bye for now.